Bhairav Kalike Namostute. Om Namo Bhairavaya Namo Namo Om Namo Bhairavaya. So good morning, and we are back on yet another video, and today's subject is the back-to-back murder cases of women knocking off their husbands, beheading them, cutting them off to pieces, and almost always there is another guy in picture. That would usually be her lover or something of that sort. So why is the sacred bond of marriage collapsing at this phase? It is because we do not understand our Puranas. We are so lost. We think these are stories, and we are so lost and so arrogant that we think these are stories that are being recited in the glory of these deities who are mere stones in these temples. How lost are these so-called gurus? You gurus are so lost. You are not able to correlate these basic things. Then where is your dhyana? What is your focus on? You're coming on continuously reciting on big platforms. You keep reciting these stories. When will you correlate with the present state of the society? Let us try and make an attempt to correlate these things. Shiva Purana, multiple instances. Skanda Purana, everywhere, back to back, you will find reference of this specific event, cosmic event where Brahma Deva and Mahavishnu get into a heated debate, and a pillar of fire appears and the fire speaks. The Brahma Tattva within that specific cosmic, that is Milky Way, and Vishnu Tattva get into an argument that who is the greatest among you and me. So they are essentially forgetting the Mahesh Tattva, who is in deepest state of meditative state. Brahma creates, Mahavishnu protects, and Maheshwara, he destroys. That is a general level of understanding. But what is he in? He is always in the deepest state of dhyana. He doesn't move. He's unmoving. He's just embodying the Mahakala Tattva, and he just refuses to move. So Brahma, the highest state of creation, he has created Tesla, he has created the greatest markets, all these indexes, NSE, BSE, huge buildings, the greatest fighter jets, rockets that are now capable of piercing through the Earth's atmosphere. Brahma is in this highest state of pride. So that is what makes him think that, okay, probably beyond this cosmic Milky Way, I am probably there, even in, beyond this Milky Way, probably I have the ability to create. Brahma doesn't realize that he is restricted to the Milky Way. So the fifth head, that is the Shiva Tattva, the Sadashiva Tattva, Adi Shakti itself, that is the fifth head, begins to crop up. And he says, I am also equal to Shiva. Now that I have created so much here, I have created Tesla, I have created Apple, I have created great companies and all this. Now that human arrogance, he's our forefather. Please understand that. He's not some deity that you look beyond. He's us, right? Full of arrogance, it says that, okay, now I think I can create even beyond this. I can go all the way till the cosmos. I can break beyond the Milky Way, that is specific cosmos, specific galaxy ke bhi bahar. I can create. I am confident. That is when he attains and thinks that he now has attained the state of the Adhya Shakti. That is the fifth head. Mahavishnu, again, deeply rooted within his dharma. What is his dharma? To protect. So what Parashurama does? Parashurama literally slays his own mother. So the femininity is lost. Even for Mahavishnu, the femininity is now lost. So they both get into the fierce debate, and the pillar appears. This is Shiva Purana. They are in multiple Puranas. But what does it even mean? So why is Brahma at that highest state losing his ability to hold on to reality? Why is Mahesh in the highest states of debate, and he doesn't, highest states of the dhyana, and why he doesn't move? And why does Mahavishnu also engage in debate with Brahma, and why does the pillar appear? What does this denote, and what is its equivalence with the society? What is its meaning about the society? It simply means that today the Shiva Tattva within the society, that is the man, and Shakti Tattva, that is the woman. Why is Shakti going berserk, whereas Shiva is missing? So today, how is a man considered as a man? He should have a huge bank balance. He should be from an exceptional bloodline that will give comfort, physical comforts, that is going to birth exceptional children with exceptional bloodlines, exceptional abilities, that can fund a foreign education. These are all the so-called identity of a man. None of this will fit Shiva. None of this. He has a third car, fourth car, fifth house, second company, third company, partner with 5 more people, bank balances that are going into 8 digits. This is the identity of a man today in the society. This is Brahma's identity, Brahma's ideology of what a man is. That is not Shiva. This will not fit Shiva. Shakti goes berserk because Shakti and Shiva are twins. You remove Shakti, Shiva cannot be perceived by any of us. You remove Shakti, you remove Shiva, Shakti will not stay there. She will destroy creation itself. That is why it is like this. It is only Shiva that can give Adhara to Shakti because she is his half. You remove Shiva from society and you place Brahma as the highest forms of Shiva Tattva, she will destroy that. That cosmic presence is destroyed and Shiva has to come back and stop her. Otherwise, she will destroy it. No, Brahma cannot keep that Adhara. That is why when the fifth head starts mouthing of I am equal to Shiva, it is Devi saying that, see, you who is my half, who is unmoving, does not move at any state, you are always in the highest state of dhyana. It is Shakti that is making that fifth head mouth off, because Brahma thinks now he can go beyond the Milky Way. He can now create the second Milky Way because he considers himself that as I have attained the Shiva Tattva, I am Shiva. He says, I am Shiva. So this is the actual meaning of this event in the Puranas. This is the meaning. You are not supposed to just look at it as a mere debate between these three human beings. That is not what it is. You are supposed to go in depth and understand that in the society today, the Shiva Tattva is gone. Where is Shiva? Shiva is missing. And Brahma begins to take the role of Shiva, because Shiva is uninterested in Milky Way, the galaxy, this cosmic presence. Beyond that, Brahma has no role beyond that because he is limited. But when Brahma creates all these rockets, jets and fighter jets, Boeing, aeroplanes, everything, Brahma is the highest. Shakti says, Shakti begins to destroy Brahma because only Shiva can give her Adhara. So the Shakti Tattva on our earth, the Shakti Tattva is a woman and Shiva Tattva is the man. The man, however, is now beginning to embody Brahma because he himself considers that if he gets a third car, or if he adds another zero to his salary or to his net profit, he is God. He is the greatest. How many cars you have in your garage determines how successful you are. How many zeros you add to your net worth determines how high you are in the ladder. But there are Shiva Tattvas that are running or hiding from the societal norms because they find it disgusting. They do not want to fit in. These Shiva Tattvas are not being considered as the highest states of manlyhood, masculinity. It is hiding. It is moving away from the light in the society. It finds it disgusting. It is happening even in our own spiritual content space on YouTube. Shiva Tattva is waning here. It is Brahma. Numbers count karte hain. We have attained 1 crore, we have attained 2 crores, we have attained 10 lakhs. This is all number game. So even spiritual content is also now determined by how many branches you have. How many countries are we covering in spirituality? This determines my greatness. This is not Shiva, this is Brahma. If you say that I am covering 10 countries, so I am the master of spirituality, you are Brahma. Your fifth head is explosion of Bhairav Nama means you will very soon lose that head and you will be put to your place very brutally, and you deserve it. If you think that your number of views, the number of branches, the number of cosmic geographical location that your movement is covering determines how great you are, get ready. This is coming for you. The fingernail is about to come. And Shakti, every time she plays victim, every time she goes berserk, only Shiva can give her Adhara. Waning Shiva Tattva in the society. That is why Brahma and Mahesh, coming back to the Puranas, why Brahma and Mahavishnu get into the heated debate of who is greater, because they have forgotten Shiva. Because he is so silent and in a corner, he does not want to be disturbed. He is at the deepest states of anonymity. He prefers to stay there and see, Brahma and Vishnu only see Mahesh. In the Trimurti, they can only see Mahesh and they see him as, okay, he sits on Kailash. That's all he is. He sits there. Yeah, he's very powerful, they say, but he's unmoving. I don't know anything about him. Between me and Brahma, it looks like the competition is here on who is the highest god, right? We have a full-fledged debate and all this. This is what is happening. However, Mahesh, which is merely a projection that Devi places of Shiva, he is not the highest states of Shiva. He's just kept there for a reason. This is what is happening in our society. Every man is looking at the second car, third car, on-site opportunity, an additional zero. They have lost everything to do with Shiva Tattva. And if you have lost Shiva Tattva, you will not be able to retain Shakti. Because Shakti stays only with Shiva. Women are going berserk, women are unable to find peace in the man they choose or they are forced to live with. Women are in utter state of dismay because they do not know a way out. Society says this is the kind of man that is the perfect embodiment of masculinity, but it is Brahma. It is not Shiva anymore. What is the woman supposed to do? What is the girl supposed to do? Everything is off. The energies are absolutely off. Explosion of Bhairava Nama happens for a reason. Bhairava, as a deity, he drinks the blood of every single deva. Every single, including Brahma. He decapitates Brahma's fifth head, takes the skull, goes around begging, literally it is begging for the blood of every deity. He drinks the blood of Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu cuts open a cut over here and he tries to fill the Brahma Kapala. It does not fill. He finally attains, he's about to faint. His two wives start begging to Bhairava to release Mahavishnu or else he might get decimated. And then Bhairava says, done, I'm going. And he leaves. So this specific act is denoting 5125th year into Kali Yuga, where every deity has absolutely, even the deities have lost the Shiva Tattva within. They forget that how they were created, who created them, who is Sadashiva. He is not Mahesh, he is way beyond. The spiritualists who are a reflection, a mirror reflection of the Deva Loka, they also celebrate their number of branches now. I have a branch here, I have a branch there. I am always on the stage. I am the greatest. No, you are not. You are celebrating Brahma's design. This exceptional capitalism that is now getting into spirituality, that is not Shiva. Brahma puts so much of effort into creation, he becomes a master of creation. Mahavishnu puts so much of effort into ensuring dharma is kept. He becomes a master of dharma. Sadashiva, he gets into such higher states of meditative dhyana that he has now gone to such a state that Brahma and Vishnu are no longer able to even imagine what is Shiva. When Brahma and Vishnu cannot imagine what is Shiva, then how will you? Thus exploded the Bhairava Nama. From the third eye explodes the Bhairava Nama, and Mahadeva, upon the shrieks of Shakti, saying that you refuse to come out even at this state when I have created with your energy all this. I've created Brahma, I've created Vishnu, and a projection of yourself as Mahesh. Now a state has come that even the Devas are projected and under the influence of the Kali Yuga. Will you still not come out? Bhairava explodes. Because it is now time to teach Brahma's design, Mahavishnu's design, that what is Shiva. Another cosmic event which gives us an idea of how much Brahma and his creation moves away from Shiva Tattva. Let us go back to the one of the names of Ma Adhyakali, Sati, immediately followed by another name, Ma Sita. Let us focus on Sati, who is the daughter of Daksha, who is the son of Brahma. Here he represents you and me. We are all sons of Brahma. Brahma by himself is a son of Devi, so you can connect to a higher power and say that I am the son of Devi. But however, there is a father in between. There is a Garbhagraha in between that Brahma sits in, right? Brahma's son Daksha, which represents you are on my father or the father of the girls who have now come into limelight for murdering their husbands. What is happening over there? Societal norms, which is also Brahma itself, are being kept higher than the wish of Shakti to spend her life with a specific man. Taksha is so lost in the so-called societal norms and his own arrogance that, man, I will decide. I will decide who my daughter will marry or live with. I will decide the worth of my son-in-law. He has to fit on these check boxes. Only then I will give him an opportunity to be her son-in-law. But he by himself is such a lost being. He knows nothing about Shiva. Societal norms are playing the highest, and society itself is Brahma. So he is just looking at his own reflections and saying, wow, beautiful, wow, beautiful. Another mirror, wow, beautiful. He has no clue on what is Shiva and Shakti. So the creative tattva that is Shakti and the seed that is Shiva are being separated now. Shakti decides who is her Shiva. Ma Parvati, when she sat in the highest states of tapasya, Mahadeva had sent his rishis to her and said that, why you want to marry Sadashiva? Why? Have you not seen him? He sits in that Mahasmashana. All over him there is bhasma of multiple cosmic galaxies that got exploded. These rishis don't know that is Adhya. The Devi Parvati, the reincarnation of Ma Sati, that is Parvati Devi, comes back for that Shiva. These rishis don't know that. They are trying to convince her. Why don't you consider Mahavishnu? She is such a handsome being, most handsome. The entire Devaloka is always in absolute awe of this deity. Why do you want to marry this Sadashiva? He puts scorpion on his ears, smeared with the dust of Smashana, unfit to be considered as a groom. Please go and find some other deity. You're such a young girl and such a high level of tapasya that you have within you. But Parvati Devi says, I recognize my Shiva. I recognize my Shiva. It is either him or nobody. This is the nature of Shakti and Shiva. Just because you find somebody as a low-level, blue-collar worker, somebody who's not that fit or fitting into the society, but if you decide that based on the norms of the society, you will match Shakti to Shiva, her Shiva Tattva. Every woman carries the womb and every man carries a seed. But if you decide that as per the societal norms, this is my seed, this is my Shakti, just because you gave birth, you don't own that girl. The father and the mother do not own that girl. And if you try to own, she will destroy, because Shakti will only find Adhara with Shiva. Daksha's, number one, we forget that Brahma and Vishnu, when they stand in front of the pillar of fire, what it meant, it is what is happening in the society today. A man's worth is now determined by the number of cars, number of appearance he makes in the public. Even in my own family, my mother-in-law, who loves me as her son. She always wanted a son, she never got a son. So to her, I am her son. She will always be very angry with me, but because I never appear in any of the family functions, death ho ya marriage, I don't go. She will always crib. Because she's proud of me. She's very proud of me, right? She takes pride in me. What an exceptional son-in-law I have. But I cannot show him to anybody because he will not come. He's tall, he's handsome, he's exceptional, but she'll come and tell me, you never come anywhere. How do I show that I'm proud of you when I cannot even present you anywhere? I don't even come. So the Shiva Tattva it moves out of the societal standards. The first sign is that. So you, the father and the mother, who's trying to now get your daughter married, come out of this Brahma's mindset that you will decide where the womb will align. Shiva and Shakti will not make sense to even the Maharishis. Then how are you trying to make sense of Shiva and Shakti? You cannot. The Maharishis tried to, Sadashiva himself sent the rishis to test, you can say test, or he himself may not have been aware that his Shakti has come back as Ma Parvati, because Shakti knows the purpose of Shiva is to create more. However, Shiva himself has reclused. Ma Sati is gone, I am gone. Ma Sati, my Shakti is gone. Now I no longer have any duty here in this specific cosmos. The Shiva here we talk about is Mahesh. Ma Sati is gone. Milky Way. In Milky Way, Ma Sati has burnt. I am no longer coming back to this space. Do not call me again. reclusing myself out of the societal standards, and he goes back to his highest states of meditation. Ma Parvati, who knows that now I need to create Ganesha, I need to create Skand, I need to bring Mahesh to his reality. She comes into the highest states of tapasya. The rishis try to send her away. She does not go away because Shakti only aligns to Shiva. Ma Saraswati and Brahma. So them that is Shiva Tattva and Shakti Tattva. It aligns there. Ma Parvati aligns only to Mahesh. Even the rishis cannot change it. Then who are you, Daksha, embodiment of Daksha, trying to decide who your daughter will marry? It will not work. She will burn herself down, destroy your bloodline and the bloodline of that which you tried to project as a Shiva Tattva. The womb recognizes its seed. Brahma has infiltrated the term Shiva has been infiltrated by Brahma. And that is why Bhairava's explosion. He will set everything in order. He is way more powerful than Bhairava is not limited to the Milky Way. He is beyond. He is the fifth head. He is such a master of the fifth head that he holds the fifth head in his left hand, which is denoting Devi. Left side of Shiva is Devi. He holds the fifth head there. He is beyond the Milky Way. So what are these parents even supposed to do? First of all, the marriage ceremonies today have become mere spectacles of arrogance and Brahma's design. If you have a Vedic wedding, why do you invite the entire world to that wedding? Daksha invites the whole world, entire, sabhi ko bulao, but he does not invite Shiva because he has chosen the groom as per his understanding of what is the societal norms. However, this fellow, Daksha, Bachcha, he thinks that Shiva need not be invited. This is what is happening in your marriage. You are spending less time in choosing the groom and more time in choosing the venue. You are spending less time in choosing your photographer and more time in choosing the photographer and less time in choosing the groom. You don't choose the groom. Shakti chooses the groom. You have controlled Shakti, hit her on her head, and you force her to align with one man because he fits in the standard of your caste, religion, street, office, size of the office, number of cars he has. He fits in these norms, so you decided that this is Shiva. But you have actually brought in Brahma's highest stage. Brahma with the fifth head goes up, tumne bitha diya hai. So you choose, so Daksha calls the entire Devaloka, everybody except Shiva. Similarly, you choose the photographer. You're choosing the venue. You're choosing the caterer. But you don't let Shakti choose a Shiva. In the most niche woman that you find or highest woman that you find, there is a Shiva for her. That is the niyama of creation. And if you separate, she will burn you and herself down. You will lose your head. 100% you will lose your head. And this is why in the society today, women are going berserk because Shiva Tattva has absolutely got destroyed. Because Shiva will not purposely come and project. It is Shakti when she plays the victim that Shiva will project himself. Only for Shakti he bows. Mahavishnu has not seen Sadashiva. Brahma has not seen Sadashiva. They all see Mahesh. Among the Trimurti, they only see Mahesh. Yahan pe Adhya hai and only she has seen Sadashiva. And when she gets angry, she loses control on herself, she will start the Tandav and he will come. And the moment he lies down and says, hey Devi, you are my half, calm down, stand here. She will calm down and she will, okay. Shiva is 1 and Devi is 11. Shiva is 1 and Devi is 11. Shiva gives her one seed, she creates the entire cosmos. But if you try to separate her from Shiva, she will burn down herself like Masati and she will burn down the bloodline. She will burn down the entire so-called honor that you have and you will be left with nothing. And as a man, if you think your second car and another zero in your income makes you Shiva, it makes you Brahma, not Shiva. You need to go within yourself and attain absolute Vairagya. The world will fall at your feet. Not because you have another car. There are many millionaires who are having multiple cars and multiple businesses. You think they are happy. My life has placed me into such a career where I had the opportunity to rub shoulders with millionaires and billionaires. People with so much of money that even if they spend 5 lakhs or 10 lakhs a day, they will not run out of it. I don't see happiness there. I see Brahma there. So instead of calling the entire world to your marriage ceremony, call Shiva. Let the only factor of marriage be that the girl is deciding and has attained absolute clarity that I have found my Shiva. Let this be the only criteria of a Vedic wedding. Otherwise, it is going to get destroyed. Entire world, photographer, catering, everything chosen, but you will not choose Shiva. You will decide who is Shiva. And the womb is forced to align and serve a specific seed that it is not interested in having. It is not Shiva and Shakti. The moment they align, there is absolute peace. They will birth Skanda and they will birth Vinayaka. Can you hear? But if you force Shakti to forcefully go and bow down to the designs of Daksha's Yagya, she will burn it down. I'm repeating third time. Some of you get irritated when I repeat. Sorry. And some of you are even getting irritated when I touch my hair. Please, this hair, I stopped cutting my hair after the birth of my second son because samsaric life was majorly done. So do not comment on my hair. It is more dangerous than you think it is. It is for Devi. It is her Mukta Keshi. I have dedicated it to Devi. So do not get screwed. People say, cut your hair short, do this, do that. They don't exist too long in my life after that. I find that they disappear. Anyway, if you so badly want to have an exceptional party after your marriage, do it in the reception. Make it absolute fun. Call the entire world. But in your marriage, call those who are truly in love with you, truly wanting your good, that your best friend, your absolutely loving senior, somebody who blesses you and who tried to protect you against the designs of Brahma. When your career was in trouble, they made an effort to save you. Inko bulao, wedding pay. Do not call the entire world. In my marriage, it was out of nowhere, we were lashed with such extreme rains. Half the streets of Chennai got flooded and nobody could come to the wedding. It was a small ceremony with 30 people. In my wedding, my close friends, all that I've invited, they could not make it. Just a few friends who were truly, genuinely happy for me and my wife, they were able to reach that space. Otherwise, anybody else whose mind is not 100% aligned with me and my wife's marriage were not able to make it. This is the answer. Ensure that your guest list for your marriage is small. The only thing that matters is that Sati is able to see Shiva there, then she is Parvati. Else she is Sati. And if she is Sati, your head, you who considers himself the father of the family, so great you are that you think you know your daughter, you own her. Nobody owns Shakti but Shiva. Every time Shakti is birthed, every time Shakti is placed in an adhara, on an asana, she will only accept Shiva. And if you had made the mistake of choosing your Shiva, you made a mistake of choosing Brahma. Nothing wrong. 2-3 more lifetimes added. But if your bloodline, you allow Shiva inside, and Shiva will look like unfit in the societal standards of beauty. But uske andar, Shiva Tattva, if he decides that he wants to be the most handsome man in that place, Mahavishnu himself will be in awe of his beauty. But he is unconcerned about his looks. He is unconcerned about what he projects in front of the societal standards. It is you who's trying to find Brahma and mask him as Shiva. But Shakti, whatever you do, Shakti will not align with Brahma's design. She will destroy it repeatedly, back to back. So, coming to the point, marriage, it is not important how exceptional your photographer is, or how exceptional your caterer is, or how 5-star ho or 7-star ho. This is not what matters. Is Shakti and Shiva getting aligned there? Stop your arrogance in the name of pride. I've seen millionaires evolving sorrow because they tried to choose their Shiva. Shakti chooses Shiva. Shakti. And if Shakti does not find Shiva, Shakti is happy. What does Ma Parvati say? I am happy to live the rest of my life with myself until I find my Shiva. But if it is not Shiva, there is nobody else. That is Parvati Devi. You do not force Ma Parvati Devi under the standards of Brahma's design, she is Shakti. She will burn you down, you will lose your head. 101% you will lose your head. So this Shiva Tattva, so the fire pillar, Brahma and Mahavishnu surprised, what is this? They have forgotten Shiva. They don't remember Shiva at all. They have been so hell-bent in their duty that they have forgotten Shiva, and when he comes, they're like, what is this? What has come here? What is this fire pillar? That is Shiva. Shakti recognizes her. She's at absolute calmness because she knows who has come. It is her Shiva. You are nothing. Please stop trying to find. You have become so arrogant that you will choose the seed. The worm chooses its seed. Let them be at peace. Stop choosing Shiva. Stop making the same mistake that Daksha did before he lost his head and became the first cosmic Bali of that cosmic Milky Way ka pehla, the Bali is Daksha. And what was the mistake he did? Because he was the son of Brahma, he thought that he knows everything. He knows that what is the characteristics of Shiva. He says that Shiva is unfit. What is that entire story talking about? What is that even talking about? Because Shiva is considered unfit as per his norms, but it is Shakti who decides who is Shiva. Shakti will never align with anything else and she will destroy it. And even going forward, now that the Bhairava Nama has exploded, when we have crossed 5,125 years into Kali Yuga, every marriage where Shakti is forced to bow down her head and get married to something that is not her Shiva will lead to destruction of the bloodline and complete decimation of your so-called peace, honor, nothing will exist. Shakti does not align with anything other than Shiva. Now that the Bhairava Tattva has exploded, societal marriages will crumble. Don't do it. I believe in the recent case, he had visited Ma Kamakhya and this had happened too. Daksha is getting beheaded everywhere now. Men have become weak, meek, powerless. Men look at women with doubt. Men look at women as enemies or as competition because that is Brahma. They're so lost. This is why Bhairava Sadhana is the most important thing right now. It exploded from a podcast, but you guys refuse to take it up. You guys are still so lost in Brahma's design. You prefer to go to all these temples that are just because they are famous, and you are losing Bhairava Tattva, you are losing the Shiva Tattva, and then you want to marry somebody and you get screwed. You're afraid of laws that are against you. You're afraid of the alimony problems. You're afraid of whether you will be able to live happily with the wife. Wife itself is now giving you fears on your own life. This is all Shiva Tattva waning in the society. Bhairava is the only way forward. Bhairava, once you attain the state of equilibrium with Bhairava, your own Bhairavi will be chasing after you and you will find absolute match. Even if you are suffering, you will find that she suffers with you. If you are at the highest states of glory, she is at the highest states of glory. She does it all. You are 1 and she makes it 11. But if you do not align with your Shiva, or as Shiva Tattva itself, you do not align with Shakti, nothing will happen because it is not Brahma who creates. You can create an exceptional company, you can create an exceptional promotion, a great posting. Everything can be attained in Brahma's design, but creation is Shiva Shakti. There you don't get to play God. You will lose your fifth head very soon. Find your Shiva or wait for your Shiva. This is my only advice to women and to the fathers and mothers of young women. Do not be Daksha. You will not exist. You think you are in control. You think you're so arrogant that you decide who your daughter should marry. Tum ho kaun? Your daughter herself, she is a Shakti Tattva. You play around with that Shakti Tattva, it will destroy your bloodline. Now there might be a question that arises in many women. I am a married woman. I've had an arranged marriage. My husband is becoming weaker and weaker. He's losing the pranic shakti to continue because he was running around in Brahma's design. Now he's collapsing and collapsing and collapsing, becoming weaker. Shiva Tattva has got destroyed. Number one, he should begin the sadhana of Bhairava. That is the first and foremost thing, because Shiva does not move. When he moves, he is Bhairava. When he enters into Smashana, is Bhairava. Wo nahi hai. This world that you see is Smashana. The moment Shiva moves within this Prakriti, because everybody is dying, nobody is taking birth, everybody is dying. This Smashana that you look around, everybody has lost. If you need to go and sit in a Smashana to do sadhana, Smashana Kali, ghar pe baithoge to Smashana Kali sadhana cannot be done. This is all lost. Clueless people. The world is a Mahasmashana. And the moment Shiva moves, he is Bhairava. If he sits down, he is Mahakala. And when he moves, he is Mahakala Bhairava. Right? So every man, if married women find that the husbands are waning and becoming weaker and weaker, please understand that you are now in the driver's seat and you will have to ensure that Bhairava sadhana is taken at the highest levels. Brahma's design has to be collapsed. You might have to take control of the household. You might have to drive the family, and the husband might be brought back to the Shiva Tattva by your efforts. In this, let us take the 455th name of Ma Kali, Kunti. The husband becomes weak, unable to produce any children due to a curse. Bloodline is cursed. Husband's bloodline is cursed. He cannot birth or proliferate the bloodline. What happens? Ma Kunti attains the seeds from the Devas itself by her sadhana and keeps the bloodline going. The girl, the woman drives the bloodline. So many of you will be fitting into this specific category. This is also true for 618th name Gandhari. She is also Kali. Gandhari is also Kali. Kunti is also Kali. Blind husband, Gandhari successfully births 100 children. Yes, they played the role of villains, but villain bhi Devi hai. The entire Mahabharata is Devi. So, husband is weak, the wife takes the role of the husband, attains that blindness within her and ensures that she creates the entire Kauravas. Husband is weak, loses the ability to proliferate the bloodline, is absolutely gone from the picture itself, but she still carries on the bloodline. Listen to that. The only condition here is that Shiva Tattva and Shakti Tattva, as per the karmic designs, should match. If you had put Ma Kunti and forced her to marry somebody within the Brahma's design, more than likely you would not even know the name of Kunti, and neither they would be part of the Mahabharata. They would disappear, become obscure and irrelevant. If that most unsuitable groom that you might think, but if the Shakti is aligning with her, Shakti alone can drive that family into coming out of all the karmic restrictions, Brahma's designs, everything she will collapse and she will be able to create well, even if the husband is a weak being. But if you go and club her forcefully with somebody who is non-existent, not supposed to be near her, she will destroy. Sati. Plain and simple. You don't have to complicate this. So, men get into Bhairava sadhana. It is compulsory. Bhairava sadhana will tell you the moment you meet a girl, you will know for sure this is my Shakti or this is not my Shakti. By the third or fourth conversation, you will know. But you need Bhairavas who will give you that clarity within Brahma's design. Just because this girl who's coming in front of me, okay, she's got an exceptional job, good job, hai, acha, okay, appears good and all that. Bhairava Tattva, once it wakes up, you will know that that is not your Shakti or that is your Shakti. And even if your mother or father, everybody is against, you will still hold her, and finally, your own father, your own mother will tell you, oh, correct, it is right, my son did it right. But for that, you need the Bhairava Tattva, not the Brahma Tattva. Brahma Tattva, you are already there. Brahma can create everything except he does not own the Shiva Shakti Tattva. The womb can never be owned by Brahma. Neither can the seed be owned by Brahma. So, not a very long video today, short one hai. Unmarried men, get into Bhairava sadhana. Go closer to the Shiva Tattva that you are. Let me tell you, I speak to women and men all the time. They're in my inbox. They're sending me emails and everything. But if I pick out from 10 women, if I talk to 5 to 6 women, they will say, I am Kali, I am Devi only. I can manifest anything. They'll be full of confidence because so Shakti is strong right now. This is also an indicator that Shakti is very strong. But if I talk to 10 men and I tell them, Hari, you are Shiva, they'll be, what are you saying? I'm Shiva. No. I'm not Shiva. What are you saying? Shiva is sitting in that temple. So it is the Shiva Tattva that is gone. It is truly time for Brahma and Mahavishnu to realize that Shiva Tattva is waning, and they themselves need to understand that every man has a Shiva Tattva within. You are forgetting it. Your Brahma and your Vishnu Tattva is now leading you, and the Shiva Tattva is gone. You need to bring it back with Bhairava. Because once Bhairava has taken over, let's say after 3 years of Bhairava sadhana, he will, this is a rough figure, somebody might attain it in 12 months. After 3rd year of Bhairava sadhana, or if you are exceptional, maybe even in a year, Bhairava will consume the blood of the Kuladeva and he will take over, and post that Bhairava becomes your Kuladeva. Because Sarvam Shiva Mayam, your Kuladeva is a projection of Shiva by Shakti. In Brahma's design, it is Shakti projecting as your Kuladeva, but in reality, it is still Shakti and Shiva. So you begin to remove that masks, and finally you see that your Kuladeva itself is Shiva. So men, take up Bhairava sadhana before you marry. Take it up. You will be able to recognize your Shakti like this. And you will also have the guts to say, tell your own father and mother, ki, yeah, this is the girl. This is Shakti. This is my Shakti. Only her, nobody else. I will marry her. Shiva does not have father and mother. Once he attains Bhairava Tattva, once you attain Bhairava Tattva, everything will disappear, and your father, mother will all become your children, and you will be driving them. But however, if you walk around saying that, Ma, mujhe dikha do, kisko marry karo, that is Brahma design. Brahma's design. So every man must attain the Bhairava Tattva and become Bhairava. Like the girl, very confidently, they all say that I'm Kali. Everybody says I'm Kali. Every girl I talk to says I'm Kali only. Every girl. I'm Devi. Very strong, very convinced. However, if then they are saying they are Devi, then they can only align with the Shiva Tattva. However, Shakti, without the Adhara, she is clueless and she is breaking down everything. That is happening right now. And she will destroy you. Shakti, if you are not aligned to the right Shakti, she will destroy the man. Because he will not be able to retain her. He must attain oneness with the Bhairava Tattva. Then he should become Bhairava. Then he can attain his Shakti. So first and foremost, you stop becoming meek and weak. Go closer. Because Brahma at the highest, even if you own a company like Tesla itself, or you become the master of a great company, you are so hell-bent on creation of money and wealth and all that, and you have a 100 crore portfolio, all you have to do is go to the wrong Shakti, you're destroyed. You think that multiple women, you think that you will be able to show multiple houses and house multiple women, you still get destroyed. Shiva is one, Shakti is one. Shiva is one, Shakti is one. So go to your core and understand the journey within yourself is sadhana. And what is the end goal of sadhana? It is finally to realize that everything is Sarvam Shiva Mayam. And what is Shiva's Maya? It is Kali. Shakti. The projection, the moment somebody shows you a photograph of Shiva, please understand that it is Shakti portraying and projecting a form of Shiva in front of you. Shiva only she has seen. Nobody, neither Brahma nor Vishnu has seen Shiva. So men get into the sadhana, women get into the sadhana of Bhairava. You go closer to your reality, you will be able to stand up against the society's norm and say that I like Ma Parvati, I will only offer myself to my own Shiva. Not what you decide, hey Rishis, who has been sent by my Shiva itself, I am telling you that I will only marry my Shiva, nobody else. So this is what is waning in the society. So our great gurus are also mimicking this Shiva Mahapurana, all these Leelas of Devi in multiple Puranas where Shiva comes out as the pillar of fire. They think it is just a story of Shiva's greatness. It's not a story of Shiva's greatness. It is what is happening in the society right now. It is happening in the society right now. Shiva Tattva is gone. Brahma and Mahavishnu is at the highest. However, Shiva Tattva, Mahesh is not moving. He is still in the deeper state. So Devi plays the victim. Devi creates such havoc and does the Tandav. Bhairava will rise. And he will give her Adhara. Quickly summing up, marriage is not for the photographs. Don't even keep a photographer in your marriage. The smaller the guest list, the more likely that they are blessing you, right? You bring all these Daksha, the ideology of Daksha to call all Tom, Dick and Harry to your marriage, all the bosses that hated you, all the colleagues that hated you simply for the purpose of giving you 1 rupee, 10 rupees, 100 rupees, 1000 rupees. If they walk into your marriage, they have destroyed you. That bloodline is crude. Marriages make the invitation list tiny. Make it tiny. Invite everybody to the reception and have your party, have your drinks, have your music, have your DJ, everything, but not at the Vedic wedding. Mat karo. Make it small. Only if they truly wish. Acha. I love this girl, I love this boy, I'm going to wish them good. I love my friend is here, my brother, he's my bro, she's my bro. These kind of people, you invite them to your wedding. Reception में सभी को invite कर लो. Neighbors 101% of the time, these most of the families are jealous or fighting or greedy, or they don't like the neighbors, but they'll invite the entire street. What are they blessing you for? That is Daksha's design. Very soon Sati will burn. Sati will burn and Shiva will run away from that space. Shiva Shakti moment alone can never be owned by Brahma. How much ever he tries, it will never be owned by Brahma. That is always pure, and it is Adhya and Sadashiva. So if there is a weak marriage and the husband is becoming weaker and weaker, wife can still drive Bhairav sadhana karo. Get closer to the Bhairava tattva within you itself, and you can drive like Kunti Devi, name of Kali. Like Gandhari, husband is blind and incapable of leading, but she proliferates the bloodline. Yes, it was an Asuric bloodline, but still it was proliferating. She was happy seeing her sons and all, but yes, ends will be achieved, but still she was able to drive a weak marriage. The biggest problem here is that these fathers and mothers, they think that they know better than the womb. They insult the womb by trying to fix marriages. The entire street is being invited to marriages. However, are you sure that just because somebody came into your wedding, they are wishing good for you? They don't. Another comment that was noticed under my videos is that somebody had commented that nowadays women are hostile, and all these alimony cases and all this. See, these are not things that I would like to address on this channel. It all roots from one simple thing, the Shiva Shakti alignment. If it is misaligned, Shakti will destroy. If Shiva and Shakti are not aligned, Daksha, repetition of Daksha's yajna. So what is alimony and what is peace of mind, everything is definitely going to get destroyed. You align with your Shakti, nothing, the entire world comes against, also Shakti will stand before you. Cannot even go close to Shiva. Like in my own case, I don't make sense to any of my relatives. I don't make sense to any of my wife's relatives. I am an absolute, I have 10-15 feet of walls around my house. Inside I have bull, I have a cow, I have a calf, I have dogs. I'm always in my highest states of dhyana. My wife absolutely is at peace with this. Any other relative, they'll be like, this guy is so weird. He's got this cow, bull, he always talks about the deities. I don't know, but my life is a story of how Shiva only makes sense to Shakti. Do not try to make yourself fit into Brahma's design, attain the state of Bhairava Tattva, say that I am Bhairava. That is the state you need to attain. Like the girls say, so strongly they say that I am Devi. But you guys, men, you're so afraid to say that I am a Tattva of Shiva. I am going to become the highest states of Shiva. I realize the futility within Brahma's design. I do my Karma Yoga, but my goal is to attain oneness with Shiva. All of these are not stories. These are guidebooks. The Puranas are guidebooks to understand the society at large. Brahma and Vishnu will forget Shiva. They have not seen Shiva. Only Devi knows who Shiva is. I think I'm done for the day. Young men and women, before marriage, Bhairava sadhana is compulsory. That is the only way you will get that tunnel vision of clarity towards the Shiva and Shakti Tattva. And the ultimate goal of Devi is creation. Nothing else but creation. Bhairava Kalike Namostute.